And during this meeting, I very quickly realised how selfless and very kind-hearted she is. Pete's had many challenges in her life, but the incredible thing is for the last 2 years she's dedicated all her time to creating her own charity called Warm Hearts, Warm Valleys. But before we get onto Pete's charity, because I think this is a nice place for Pete to have the opportunity to share her story. I just want to get a little bit of background from Pete so she knows and she wants you to know where she's come from and where she's heading, and also give you a little bit of an idea of what her journey with the Onwards and Upwards program was, which is probably quite different to what Evelyn's was. So Pete, thank you for waiting. No worries. Very nervous, which we all were. So we did like to share, and I did say to Pete, she said nothing's out of bounds, so she's very open, honest, and very vulnerable at the moment, but thank you.
No worries. Okay, so my childhood wasn't like anybody else's, and out of respect for my mother, as it was very fraction, I'll just be very short and humble and say thank you for giving birth to me to her. That's about it. But I was always the little fat kid. I didn't have friends. I never felt accepted, and I was always on the outside. And that sort of continued on through my childhood. I didn't have any role models, really. I was a lot of abuse, mental, physical, sexual abuse, that I kept a secret for a very long time. And I guess short and curly is my childhood stuff.
Well, I actually, earlier when Pete first arrived, she shared with me some of the notes, and she said to me, is there anything there that I shouldn't mention? And what I actually did read, Pete had written things down, brought tears to my eyes to think that, Pete so graciously has come along today to help us and share her story. When you were in your very early 20s, something quite significant happened.
So I was a disability support worker, and I was Australia's only solo foster carer at 21. I took on a young boy, and he was classed as in Australia's top 5 worst behaved children. I loved him. He was 10. And so I was a full-time support worker. I had him as well as I was mum, which was awesome. And I did that for a few years, and until one day I experienced about a week and a bit of a mega trauma, which included witnessing the death of a young infant, and losing my foster son as well. So that set me spiralling into a massive breakdown, which then turned my world very, very dark. And the mum and Pete disappeared, and within 3 months I had packed up and moved myself to Brisbane into the valley, and was introduced to an older woman who introduced me to my very first drug dealer. In 3 months I was Southeast Queensland's biggest drug trafficker, awaiting prison. So it all happened very fast, and it was very overwhelming that I was in a lifestyle. I had nothing left to lose, so I kept going. And it was very quite reckless until I found myself in jail for the first time. So that happened. I was released.
I think when we were chatting this morning, Pete, you were saying that really, basically your 20s and 30s, you were in and out of jail.
Yeah.
But numerous and different.
Yeah, I went out the first time and I thought, you know what, I'll do something great. So I decided that it would be a great idea to be a professional DJ. Yeah, I did it. I was. But with that came more drugs, more partying and crime and oh wow, yeah. Lots of fame and lots of ego and all that stuff and more jail. So 2 more jail stints. The longest one being 7 years, which I served 3 of, and I'm still on parole now. It was very hard, very trying. When I was released after the 3 years, I found myself stuck in Blue of all places, and I thought I was going to go. I had no hope. I saw nothing left in my life. I just knew I was going to die there.
So was this when you encountered Onwards and Upwards, the program? You came to be a part of that?
I got out and I went to jail again.
You're not going back that way.
No.
You've had enough.
Four times, yeah. No, so I in Lowood, I met a very toxic woman who I decided to have a child with through IVF. That he is also my very favourite different one. And then she decided to put me back in prison because she's not a good person. And so that was my 4th time in jail. I was in there for 4 months and then I got out and was introduced to this program.
So what was your mindset like when you rolled up to the? I wasn't part of the program that Pete was in, so we have her lovely mentor down the back that we have a quick chat to in a minute. But I'd just like Pete to share with you where her mindset was. So she's just recently come out of jail for the
4th time.
4th time.
Yeah. Well, I am still very institutionalised. So when I got out, I had my jail brain on, and it's, I don't know, it's nothing to do with being in jail, but just to give you a little bit of insight, it's like being trapped. It's like being trapped in a box in your head, and you don't know where to go. You don't know where to look. You can't look at people in the eye. You are looking at the ground. It's even now, I have a 2-bedroom unit and I live in my bedroom. So it takes a lot for me to sit up here and talk to you ladies. But
when I met Pete on the Tuesday, through our whole conversation, she looked me in the eye and she said to me at one stage when we were chatting, she said, when before I started the Onwards and Upwards program, she said I always looked at the ground. She said I could never look anyone in the eye because that's what you just don't do that in prison. So for Pete to be up here and looking us in the eye and the sea of women, it's so courageous, it's incredible.
Thank you. I just didn't, as I say, I still am very institutionalised. Sorry. If you want me to bust out a rap, I can.
So when you started the Onwards and Upwards program, you were in a very negative space.
I was. I didn't want to go, I'll be honest, I didn't. But I thought I need to get myself out of that box.
shared with you this morning, I assume, Christy, am I right in saying Pete was a little bit of a tough customer when you first started, and Pete says that she pushed her away and pushed, but Christy didn't give up and she stuck it out, and since then they have a lovely friendship, and Christy is a wonderful support for Pete, and I know Christy had a wonderful experience with Pete. Can you just share a little bit before we go up to Christy about your connection with Christy?
Straight away when we were all introduced to each other, we made eye contact and we started talking, and we both had IVF babies, so that got us talking. Yeah, and she didn't judge me. I get judged a lot, and I'm kind of used to it. I guess you don't really know what it's like to get used to it, but when you're used to it and you meet someone like Christy who doesn't judge and sees me for the person I am inside, not what I look like, it was really quite kind, and I felt very accepted. And I tried to push her away. I was a bit of a shithead. But she's a very stubborn lady, but I love her for it. And she just made me want to come back every week. I did this week. And I respect her for that a lot.
Jenny Tucker, very good. Jen.